Man, no brakes again. My lucky day, I guess. First run this morning, we have Adam with a new Lenner 2280. Let's give this a shot. Pretty conservative gearing, so we'll see what happens.
192. Almost.
Almost.
Close
Good job,
enough.
though.
Nice though.
Yeah. Time to gear up. Beautiful. All right, second run of today is the dual. Oh, no control on the car. $196. First ESC of today gone. Back to the runway. Sucks. Now this one is something completely different. This is the first time that I'm trying a Lenner. This is a 3060, so I'm pretty curious. Very weird feeling going so smoothly. Hoping that something good will happen here, of course. Have no idea what to expect. The hell, man. No brakes again. Come on, man. That's a really bad luck day. I'm hoping that I'm not gonna find a dead car or dead ESC or whatever, because that is definitely the first time using this car. Again, I did a lot of rights and lefts and stopped on the left side of the blast pad of the runway, like the end of the runway. So, see what happens, I guess. Stop, read. 186, so on the higher range of what I thought will happen here. No idea why I didn't have brakes. Great day so far. All right, so not so good news. Sucks, man. It's not even connecting, and the ESC is not responding when I'm trying to actually floor a little bit here. So it actually, the motor returned cold. So 186 miles an hour, conservative gearing. The motor returned cold, but the ESC, I thought I heard a cut over there. It just burned the ESC, so. We burned the ESC on the other one, we burned the ESC here. Man, let me tell you, the motor was cold, 186 miles an hour. So very, very promising, but we'll have to do something about the power unit. So I think what we're going to do, obviously this one is burnt as I showed you guys in the studio. I think I'm going to steal this one and put it on the other car, and hopefully, that's gonna be a shit show, but yeah, let's try it. No brakes again.
So weird.
Very weird, actually. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Definitely one of the most cursed days for a very long time. Very long time. I just don't understand. Nothing works today. I think what the universe is trying to tell me is that I should go ahead and build that dual 2028 already and not stall too much. But very interesting. So we might have a new ESC killer, which is that Lenner. Well, you know what, I actually have to be fair. We might have a new XLX2 killer, because maybe, I just don't know, I'm just trying to be fair with the company. I know they got their shit right, so maybe we have a Castle killer, and maybe with MGMs this motor will act differently. So I'm not really sure. The run was good, stable, smooth run, but as soon as I was hitting the brakes, it was like 2 seconds of breakage, and that's it. Not a happy day today. 180 miles an hour. Let's take it back to the table and see exactly what happened and why it did not respond. Well, I can't believe I'm saying it, but this is a $500 public announcement. I just burnt another ESC within 30 minutes. So here's the deal, man. And don't get me wrong, don't go crazy on the comments, guys. I am pro Castle Creations. I love Castle Creations. I actually love them personally, each member of the team, and appreciate them a lot. Don't try that and that together. And here's something interesting. So The motor and the ESC in both runs were cold, like literally cold to the touch. So the motor didn't really work hard, and 180 miles an hour and 186 miles an hour, and the ESC was cold, yet both ESCs are burnt. Here's something I did notice though. When I was stopping, it did stop and then it lost everything and I didn't have brakes and whatnot. I think this is just a ripple monster. Now, maybe with the MGMs, they just communicate and partnered better. But at least with the Castle Creations XLX2, just so you guys know, I wouldn't, or something in my setup is wrong. Obviously I can be wrong as well, but it was pretty conservative gearing, 180, 186, so it's not like we were running like 190s or 200s, right? But I think it was just once I stopped, a boost of ripple that just burned the ESC, because the ESC returned cold. Obviously I can't read the logs because it's burned, but the motor was cold as well. So very interesting, very unfortunate. I can't believe I'm saying it. I don't want to say it, but I don't think I'll have a choice, and I never thought I'm going to use a different ESC than Castle. But with this motor, I think I'm going to have to switch to MGM. Now, here's the deal. Castle will eventually work on a bigger ESC. Right now, most of their attention is towards drag, and I really don't blame them, right? They have to kind of choose their battles, and there are just too many drag users right now, a lot more than speedruns, right? I think the ratio is probably like 95% drag and 5% speedrunners. So we're getting a little less attention lately for quite some time now with ESCs when it comes to a bigger ESC, more amperage or more voltage, like a 12S ESC and whatnot. But I guess we'll just have to wait. So for the Dual and the other cars, Castle Creations XLX2, all the way, again, I'm really pro Castle, not trying to protect them. I just know the equipment. I've been running it forever on my channel too, and it's just a monster. But for those, no, it just can't. So we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna get myself an MGM to try and partner it with this LMT motor. But 2 ESCs in 30 minutes hurts, sucks. I'm gonna go home, do some calculations. Those batteries, as always, are amazing. But yeah, very sad. Back to the studio for a little bit more crying. I have a theory, right? It's a bit controversial, but hear me out. I think I got something here. So I think, after thinking about it for quite some time, I think this is the first time those 3060 motors, those Lenner 5th scale motors, ever had to go through something in this nature, ever had to endure something in that nature of what just happened on the runway. If you think about it, those Lenner motor, and I don't really even think that they ever tested it for something as extreme. This is, in my opinion, I think probably the fastest Lenner land-wise so far, right? It's not because I'm a hero, it's just no one really tried. So maybe people had some Lenners and LMT motors, that is, and did some 140s, 150s, but those are completely different forces and stress levels than doing like 170s, 180s, really pushing the wind, right? I think that motor never had to go through stopping a 12-pound object at 186 miles an hour or 180 miles an hour. And if you calculate it, by the way, thanks Mike, 18,800 joules. I'm not smart enough to know what that means, but I know what joules are. But if you want to calculate the energy and whatnot, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of smart people out there that will. 12 pounds at 186 miles an hour, trying to stop that energy, it's just a lot. Those Lenner motors, if you really think about it, mostly are used in EDFs, right, electronic ducted fans, or boats, sometimes off-road and on-road 5th scale cars, but mostly EDFs and boats. In both cases, they never had to act as a brake, right? So even in this case right now, it was actually propelling the object beautifully, smooth, everything was great to about 186 miles an hour. It was actually struggling with stopping that energy, not pushing a new energy right into the world, if that makes sense, converting the electric pulse obviously to energy. In an EDF, in a fan, in a jet, you actually load the jet, and then once you let go, surely the jet spools down a little bit, but that's pretty much it. There is not too much load back to the ESC. Boats, same exact thing. You floor it, it pushes the boat very, very strong, and then once you let go, it just lets go. But what stops the boat and breaks the boat is actually the hull on the water right now, and resistance. The prop does get just a little bit, but you're talking maybe like 1 or 5%, not even, than what we've seen here. With big off-road cars or on-road 5th scale cars, The loads are about the same, 500, 600 amps, 700, depends on what rig you got, but the RPMs are not as close. So you have a completely different sync scenario right now, right? And now, sync scenario. And most of those big fifth scale cars have actual brake discs, right? So a lot of mechanical discs that actually stop it. So I think that Lenner, I'm pretty sure that Andreas Lenner, owner of LMT, and Castle will watch this video, not because they're such big fans of Shifrin, because I will actually ask them to watch the video, since I'm actually intrigued. I would love to try this motor. It might be one of the strongest motors we've ever seen, honestly. 186 miles an hour. The motor returned cold. Even the ESC returned cold, but the motor returned cold, as in the motor didn't even care. It didn't even notice that it just participated in almost 190 mile an hour run. So very, very promising, strong, efficient motor. Cannot wait to have an ESC that can actually push it or communicate with it properly. I think the Castle Creations, obviously XLX2, have a ton of energy. Something with breaking that big can and bringing some pulses back into the ESC just destroyed it. Now, the dual motor rig, I think it's time to grow up. Obviously, I can fix it, clean it up, put new ESCs and whatnot, but I think it's time for a new rig. So, 2028 1700 coming up. Another interesting subject that I would like to talk with you guys. You guys asked me about the shafts. Guys, we're working on something pretty unbelievable and revolutionary, and it should be out soon, and I will let you know about it. Another thing that people are asking me about. So I've seen it in many, many groups, and I think it's true. It's embarrassing to me that it's true, but I think it's true. Raz, you were the one that inserted that stupid trend of looking at the GPS when the car returns and saying, stop, read. Why do you say stop, read verbally when you click on stop and on read? It is embarrassing. I know I'm doing it. I've been doing it since the beginning. I have no idea why. It just feels natural to me. I don't need to say it. I just do. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's probably me. I started this stupid trend, and it's unneeded, and it's dumb. And when the car comes back, you can just do the thing and show the speed. Like, you don't have to say, stop, read, like an idiot. Like me. Actually, hold on. There's a little bit more value I would like to give you guys. Look at that, man. That sucks. $750. That's an expensive video we got here today. I would like to actually share, finally, what those motors are. Many of you guys asked me, and I didn't want to because I wasn't sure what's going to be the end result. This is actually a motor that I introduced to the speedrun community about 3 years ago. Almost 4, I want to say. But this is the 5660 1356 kV. But anyway, I introduced it years ago, and this was the first motor to break the ARMA, or the 7-scale speed record, which was back in the day 165 miles an hour. And it stayed that way forever before we started doing some crazy things. But 5660, 1356 kV. Beautiful, amazing, and efficient motor. I thought that would be a good fit for this dual because it was short enough to actually fit here, and it was powerful enough. And the best I could push this to is 204. That's pretty much it, 204 miles an hour. Couldn't get it faster than this one. I can probably keep on going and trying and putting new ESCs and whatnot. Honestly, I'm tired of it, and I want to step it up to 2028 coming up. Now, the next video is actually a very, very interesting, surprising, and fun video many people have waited for, because the next video in probably about 3-4 days is the release video for the Perfect Pass Speedrun Springs. We sent them to Amazon. They should get spread out through the Amazon network within 2, 3, 4 days, and I will see you then.